high, it's easy to borrow at maliit lang ang interest. That is the dynamics of a rating by Fitch Fitch and Poor, mga ganon. So, and the lowest rates of unemployment and underemployment and poverty, well, it's still there. It is beyond dispute that our economic governance fundamentals were robust when COVID 19 hit us. I am sure that much can be said about the way we took on the daunting challenge of preserving lives while sustaining our momentum towards the, 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 the developmental, dito na lang ako, goals. Naturally, we prioritize saving lives. Buhay muna bago ang lahat. Ibig sabihin, inuna natin yung gastos, yung pera natin sa pandemic. Kinuha ng lahat ng anong mga budget. Si Dominguez yan. Yun ang ginamit ninyo sa Bayanihan 1 and 2. Doon natin kinuha yung pera. We move quickly to safeguard the well-being of every Filipino through preventive and responsive health and safety measures and broad inclusive social amelioration programs or SAP. Thanks to the support of Congress, we launched the most extensive social protection program in our country's history with the Bayanihan passage of Bayanihan 1 and Bayanihan 2. Indeed, our national health system and the resilience which were tested to the health. Countless lessons we learned and continuously improvements put in place. Kahit anong crisis ay kaya malampasan kung tunay na may malasakit at bayanihan. I agree. At the early stages of the pandemic, our testing capacity was very limited. Recognizing the importance of conducting more tests to ensure early detection and timely isolation of confirmed COVID-19 cases, we ramp up our testing capacity. We now have more than 260 accredited laboratories nationwide, which is still capable of conducting at least 50,000 tests daily. All regions now can conduct their own COVID-19 tests. To take care of mild and asymptomatic cases, we established over 9,000 temporary treatment and monitoring facilities across the country, with a total bed capacity of more than 140,000. Together with the local government and the private sector, we quickly established mega quarantine facilities that could accommodate more cases. Modular, modular hospitals and quarantine facilities you have also been established nationwide, especially in Metro Manila. For our severe COVID cases, our tireless health workers will continue to ensure that you are provided with the best care around the clock based on the latest development global best practices. Our health experts continue to actively participate in the search for safe and effective COVID-19 medicines. With the help of Congress, kita mo sa lahat, I never said, wala kang magiging ito ay, that I developed, caused the construction of a bridge that is nowhere to be found today. Yung mga, sa inyo talaga, with the help of Congress, we passed 13 measures that establish new improved renew and improve the capacity of existing hospitals around the country to provide quality care and services. Our people, especially amid the ongoing pandemic 19. This includes establishing new medical facilities in Mandaluyong City, Bacolod, and Davao Occidental, increasing bed capacities to existing health facilities. In Quezon City, Ilocos Sur, La Union, and Palawan, the upgrading of health facilities in that area to include Leyte. Currently, we have received over 30 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines. We expect to at least receive 36 million vaccines this month, and in August, we have inoculated more than 7 million Filipinos which have received the first dose, at least 17 million. Well, I think the landscape, the health landscape of the country continues to improve as we, you know, with the continuous approval of COVID-19 vaccines, we are ready to boost further our daily vaccination rate. And I also encourage our local government units to hasten the rollout and strengthen the inoculation program. San Juan City, for one, have vaccinated 70% of their population in a month's time. Saludo ako sa inyo at kay Mayor Zamora. We cannot continue living in the shadow of this potent enemy, especially now that science and medicine has proven that it is possible to live, if not entirely defeat this virus. The health and safety protocols we put in place have proven effective in slowing down the spread of virus. But the best solution is still vaccination. Uh, am I to mataas na ba? Kasi kung mataas na, putulin na lang ninyo itong gumagalaw dito para sabihin ko, wala naman akong mabasa. Pag matagal na, those who want to go home, raise your right hands. Pati si Monsignor, wakang taas niya kamay niya. That is why I implore our countrymen who are now in the list of sectors to be inoculated to get vaccinated now. And to those who receive their first doses, please return for your second shot. I also ask for patience for those who are next in line to receive vaccine. More and more COVID-19 vaccines are arriving each week, and you will soon have your turn. Corollary to this, it is high time that clear and precise uniform protocol and guidelines are issued in anticipation of the vaccination of more Filipinos and the steady reopening of our society. You know, pagpasensya ninyo ako, I ask, I beg your kind indulgence. But I have to say, to talk about something which would affect us all. Yung, it seems that this government is too far away from the people. Yung serbisyo talaga na totoo. Nung isang araw nakita ko, I don't have to know what place was that. Ang mga tao nakapila. And they say that they were there at 4 o'clock. Lumalakas yung ulan, sa payong lang sila. So nanonood ako sa report because I listen to the report every morning. Makukuha mo sa mga radio station yan eh. So I was having breakfast. I was listening to their TV at nakita ko yung mga tao nakapila doon, malakas ang ulan. Sabi ko, "Put- eh, doon sa breakfast table, nagmura ako. Pero dito, good boy man ako kay may mga religious dyan. Baka I just call on the National Task Force against COVID-19 to see to it that this happens. I mean, the protection. We have spent enormous amounts of resources to build our capacities to overcome this pandemic. We cannot afford more lockdowns, lest our economy bleeds to the point of irreversible damage. Balitan ko yung bakit mo papilahin? At sabi kasi doon, libre lahat na, wala nang ano. So nagpuntahan yung mga tao, nagpila, kasi wala nang lista-lista. Pero sabi mo, ito, alas 4 pa sila. Hindi lang ako pwedeng alam mo sa totoo lang, hindi naman ako nagyayabang. I'm just an ordinary Filipino citizen. Just like you, I get hurt when people are nearly almost brutalized. Bakit hindi ka magkuha? It's rain time. Malakas ang monsoon, south, southwest monsoon, dumadaan talaga sa Pilipinas. Gamitin mo utak mo. You should look for a gym. At bigyan mo lahat ng tao ng number. Hanggang dito lang po. Hanggang dito lang tayo. Balik kayo itong bukas from 15 to 20. Kayo na naman bukas. Bigyan mo lang card. Prepare a card where you can, the marshal will go around the queuing na bakit mo, hindi ko maintindihan. Ano, this media. Hindi ko maintindihan bakit gawain mo yan sa Pilipino. Yan ang tinatanong ko. Why do you have to do it to the Filipino? You can always, maghanap ka ng, there's always a gymnasium. Mga eskwelahan, walang klase ngayon. Bakit hindi mo gamitin doon? Bakit ka maghanap ng isang tarantado? Kaya lang ako, well, it is to my chagrin, because gusto kong lumabas. Itong PSG lang na ito ang, sabihin ko sa inyo, huwag kayong magpresidente. Wala talagang, sabihin ko, maliit ang sweldo. Wala ka. If you're not there really for mag-corrupt ka dyan, well, it would make you a billionaire overnight. But kung magtrabaho ka lang ng ganito, ako presidente, gusto kong lumabas doon, sabihin ko, hoy, bakit ganito to? Bakit ganon kayo ka? I mean, the Filipino does not deserve it. Even if they are not paying taxes. Because the theory of government is that all money belongs to the people. And the money is there. It belongs to all of us. And it should be used for public good. But what is the use of public good if you are not good and stupid? So, ganun ang mangyayari sa Pilipino. I'm just letting off my... Kasi kung hindi lang talaga bawal, Eh, itong PSG hindi ako pinapalabas. Sabi ko magpunta ako na, sir, hindi pwede yan. Hindi pwede. Kulong talaga ako. Magpresidente ka, sa totoo lang, you are a prisoner. You are brought here, kunyari ka pa, di chopper ka, di gwardiya, patos uwi ka doon sa bahay mo, tapos hindi ka na makalabas. Priso ka talaga. Tawagin mo ang security, yung gusto kong pumunta, sir, pasensya na. Tapos paggalitan mo, sabihin mo, sir, ang authority namin does not come from you. It comes from a law. So, kami ang masunod. Talagang, sige ka perma, bunch of papers, you read it hanggang umaga, trabaho ka. Sweldo mo, ganun lang. Just give me 219,000. Tapos ganun ang trabaho. Mag-isa ko. Butit ngayon, kaya nandito yung asawa ko at dito yung anak ko. Nabubuhay yung loob ko mag-uwi ako sa bahay ngayon. Looking forward. Today is my last State of the Nation address. But this is by no means my swan song. I shall never cease to implore Congress to pass vital and critical legislation as well as to push the entire government to ensure nothing less than the full recovery and revitalization of our country. But to do this, it is necessary for us to first overcome the crippling fear, anxiety, and uncertainty that was caused by the threat of the COVID-19 virus. Well, I really do not know what to do. I have to listen to the task force. This is a group of people volunteering to be a collective advisor or that would give you the advice collectively, we put it that way, na sila ang magsabi. And we're just waiting for the word. I am referring to COVID-D, Delta. It is rampaging now in uh, Indonesia, Thailand, India, and many parts of Asia. And ang sabi doon sa the Western medicine says that it is far more aggressive and far more dangerous, and it can cause death easily than the COVID-19 original. So this is as good as any other time to say it. If says that it is really dangerous, you have to go back to lockdown. If there are many people in other parts of the world killing as many than Delta, if ever it will spread, we have it here now. I hope it will not go any further. But if something wrong happens, I'll have to be strict. And I have now my word that there will be, I, just like what happened in the early days. Kung ganun ang COVID-D, saan tayo pupunta? And if it requires a new vaccine, we do not have it yet. I don't know what, maybe we'll just have to pray for salvation. Sabihin natin, Diyos, we have done everything, but uh, this time we are really put hard on these things that happen. Rest assured, we will exert every effort to ensure the lost livelihood of our affected countrymen. I have recently signed an executive order creating a task force that will shepherd the country's national recovery employment recovery strategy. The task force recently partnered with the Employers Federation of the Philippines to implement the reforms Rebound and Recover program that that aims to vaccinate qualified workers to fill in more than 1 million jobs. These jobs will be created by business association in the fields of construction, information, technology, POP, and electronic to our business association. Thank you for joining in our effort to bring back lost income opportunities for our workforce. Another important component of our employment recovery strategy is the retooling of our workers to prepare them to better job opportunities. Since the start of the community quarantine, over 1.5 million availed of the TESDA's free online training program. I am directing the National Employment Recovery Strategy Task Force, particularly TESDA, to ensure the upskilling of our workers and increase their employability. I expect the task force to work double time, not only to recoup job losses, but more importantly, to rehabilitate the economy and help our hardest hit sectors. Through COVID-19 assistance to start enterprises or CARES program, we released 988 million pesos worth of loans to over 14,000 enterprises, Bayanihan 1 and Bayanihan 2. Released 2.9 billion pesos worth of loans to over 12,000 enterprises, including our displaced OFW enterprises in the tourism sector to help them start or sustain their business amid the pandemic. Along this line, I would like to renew my call to Congress to immediately pass the amendments of priority legislative measures such as the Foreign Investments Act, the Public Service Act, and the Retail and Trade Liberalization Act. Your applause went well ahead of its realization. You have to work on this, guys, and well, I'm sure that we can have a respite of this contagion in your own little way. Finally, I would like to reiterate my call for Congress again to pass legislation to establish a single agency that shall focus on and respond quickly to the needs and concerns of our OFWs. I pray that our next leaders and our future generations will not squander our natural resources and fight for integrity of our environment in a manner fiercer and more effective than my administration had ever done. The pandemic has taken so much from us as a nation, but like other adversities that tested us time and again, it can never take our courage and resilience and the spirit of Bayanihan one, rather Bayanihan, and the value of the malasakit are now indelible in us Filipinos. We shall use these gifts to forge ahead towards a better normal. As we come to a point where the risk of COVID-19 transmission can, we, to a certain extent, be managed, and I'm hopeful that we shall be united in forging ahead towards bringing the country back to its robust growth path. Let me end by adding this particular statements. We are on learning, education, and learning. Despite our inability to conduct face-to-face classes during this pandemic, we remain determined to deliver quality and accessible education to all. Creation of the basic educational learning plan. Community plan enabled uninterrupted learning to students in the basic sector while ensuring the teachers' health and safety and well-being. While the pandemic has demonstrated readiness, resourcefulness, and capability of government to serve the Filipino people through the use of ICT and digital services, it has also shown its inherent deficiencies and weaknesses, as such that I ask Congress to pass an e-governance act that will set up transition of government processes to digital age. I'd like to add something on the protection of our overseas Filipinos. I also ask Congress to pass a law creating the Department of Migrant Workers and Overseas Filipinos. Kailangan po ito because they are suffering not, not they suffered not only yesterday but they are still suffering now with so many inadequacies in both our government response and uh, including the monetary assistance. To ensure that there is a department that is solely focused on addressing the needs and taking care of the welfare of our countrymen abroad. Before I end, let me also touch on the environmental protection. It has also been 13 years since the Supreme Court to Mandamos ordered the rehabilitation of Manila Bay. Unfortunately, no immediate substantial action to comply with the Supreme Court's order was undertaken until 2019, when this administration started its long overdue rehabilitation. As of May 2019, operating all illegally operating open dump sites surrounding Manila Bay has been shut down, while 151 out of 187 LGUs surrounding the bay have now access to sanitary landfill. Establishments have been forced to comply with environmental laws and ordinances, while those who did not have been closed. As a result, pollutants have been slightly reduced, coliform levels also reduced to its barest maximum, are now in its longest levels in years, if not decades. I urge the DENR to sustain the efforts to continue working with our LGUs to restore Manila Bay to its former glory. You know, just one little thing before we end. Yung pag-ano sa Manila Bay, where there is the corner where all of the garbage con, by current, by action of the current. Nandito marami sa likod ng Luneta. Ah, ginawa natin 'yan at nilagay natin itong yung puting ano, basto na which is, ah, well, scattered into small pieces. Eh, nawawala minsan 'yan because of the waves. So, every now and then, we still have to replenish because we cannot change the nature of our shores. That is how it is. It is not a permanent fixture there, doliform. It is there from the mountains, and we break it down and bring it to the sea. But that would occupy that place, irrespective of there is a high tide or low tide. Nakakatulong yan. At nawawala yan. And the only way to do it is to replenish it until we can think of a good alternative of how we can process the whole thing back to its normalcy. If there was really normalcy at that time or at any other time in the past. On the resilience, again, dinagdag ko na lang ito. So time is good and as any other time again to ask you. In line with this, we hope to pursue the creation of public entities dedicated to managing emerging and re-emerging diseases. I thus fervently ask Congress to enact a law creating the Center for Disease Prevention and Control and the Virology and Vaccine Institute of the Philippines. We must have to have them. Baski gaano natin kahirap, however poor we are, I think that the Filipinos, given the proper support and the things, the equipment that they have to use, we can, I am sure that the Filipino brain can also process or make vaccines in the future. Tapos na po yan, ma'am. I ask Congress to pass the yan, Disaster Resilience Act that will create the Department of Disaster Resilience. Let us also, pagkatapos ito ma'am, ikaw yung unang tao na mag-congratulate sa akin ha. Kaya ako nagkautal-utal dito eh, dahil sa iyo. Let us also pass the law implementing the Fire Protection Modernization Program to bolster the readiness of our firefighters and ensure their ability to respond to fires and disasters. Related to this, importante ang trabaho ng bombero, maniwala kayo. They must also be there during a disaster happening. Let us also push for the mandatory establishment of education centers in every city, province, and municipality throughout the country, which shall provide the basic needs and assistance to all evacuees during times of emergency. Now, there is now the uh, conclusion. Yes, I will. Ay, salamat. Uh, ito, Pochang Duterte ito. The lights go out for this administration 11 months from now. The work that we started and expected to finish within constitutional time frame of 6 years has been told. Much was hoped for, but we need not despair. Desperation is a feeling alien to the resilient Filipino. A peaceful and prosperous Philippines is no longer a distant dream, but one that is within our grasp if our future Filipinos would also do it. If would continue, if they would continue and would seize the opportunity to work together. Malak, malaki ang papasalamat ng mga kababayan natin, lalo na silang sinasabi na mas panatag ang loob nila ngayon. Hindi na nababahala ang mga magulang na lumalabas ang mga anak nila naglalakad sa gabi. I will not elaborate on anything. You can draw your conclusion. Alam mo, when the Filipino, a father, a mother, or a child, naglalakad sa gabi, at siya ay, gagaya ng iba, even in America, you go into the inner cities of LA and New York, you sa Washington, D.C., there's a corner there, they say, do not go there because you'll not come out alive. Ganon, kung hindi maglakad na sila, puro takot na lang ang nasa loob nila, ma-hold up sa jeep, tapos pati yung taga-ombudsman na buntis, patay pa, pati yung bata sa loob ng tiyan. But just to get the money to buy shabu. Because when the monkey is riding on your back, yung katawan mo hindi mo na that is why you need to higop, sip. Kailangan mo maghigop at kailangan mong pumatay pag wala kang pera. Hindi naman talagang papatay. Maybe not. The mind is not ready for that. But in the struggle, you put up a struggle, if you are the owner of the money, talagang papatayin ka kung hindi mo ibigay. Yan ang ayaw ko. Kaya nung na-mayor ako sa Davao, ganito, mga umalis kayo sa daan. Yung daan, yung public transportation is for public good. Huwag mo silang takutin na magkanto pag-uwi. Nandyan, nagiinom man sa... Yan ang hilig ng Pilipino. Mag-inuman. Hindi mo malaman ang mga nag-uwi na babae, they have to take another route that would be longer because nandyan mga standby. So the streets are unsafe. Hold up, pinapatay. Sabi ko doon sa Davao na lang, wag na lang ako dito sa Maynila. Hindi naman talaga ako nakikialam dito. Pero alam nila, alam ng pulis kung ano ang gusto ko. Magprangkahan tayo. Sabi ko sa pulis, isauli mo yan. The roads, the highways are for law-abiding citizens of this country. Yung mga kriminal, yung mga, the dregs of society, huwag ninyong gamitin yung mga daan, hindi para sa inyo yan. And I will see to it that you are not there. Be sure that when I pass by, I do not see you. Because if I see you, I will dance with you. Isauli ko. Kaya ngayon, medyo hindi naman talaga but yung mga sales girl, mga mga shopping center, panatag na ang loob nila. At least ang chances of being mugged, murdered, and raped. Yan ang ayaw ko. Pag malayo, nakahigop na, kunin yung pera, hilain doon sa medyo maliit na mga grassy portion and rape. At, at papatayin. Yan ang hindi ko matanggap. Just like in Filipino civic wing. I may be I may be just a little bit crazier than the others. But that is what I am. Ayaw ko yung lalo na magsyabo ka tapos magpasyal ka kung ano, wala kang makuha pera, aakyat ka ng bahay. Just like that bank teller. It was raining so hard, just like the rains that we had experienced. It was pouring almost cats and nails. Ang lakas talaga ng bagsak ng ulan. She went home to knock the door and pump the door loud. But ang parents nilang matanda niyang parents, hindi nakarinig. So anong ginawa nitong mga sa construction workers? Yeah, because diyan nga ako galit sa dugay. Nabibili nila mura. So it's 200, 300. Susuyupin nila. At pag nakasuyop ng droga yan, maghanap ng alkohol yan. Sigurado yan. Pag tama ng alcohol, pati yung ano ng droga, it shrinks the brain. Yung babae, she was just picked up and brought to the construction site near the house. Tapos ni-rape doon, pinatay, sinunog pa. Oh, yan ang hindi ko talaga maintindihan. I cannot recall yung bata na 3-year-old rapin mo. Ang problema nito, ang nakikita nila, ang patay ng mga kriminal. Well, how about the victims on the other side? Bakit hindi ninyo tignan and see what these criminals have done to our children, to our wives and daughters? May listahan kayo. Ang listahan ninyo doon sa namatay, hindi ba kayo maligaya niya, wala ng kriminal? Pero pag tinrin mo dito, ilan ang patay na inosente, pati pulis ko at sundalo na mamatay dyan. Baka akala ninyo kriminal lang. So that is my lamentations and I just want you to hear. In my 5 years in office, we made real change in governance to the reforms we pursued. However, for this governance must be sustained and broadened. We need to make, I'm just getting my ear. Naghihingal ako. Baka dito ako mamatay pagka-presidente. Iba na ang pitik ng ano ko ngayon. Ng kasing-kasing ko. Kasing-kasing is puso. To make every public servant responsive to the needs of the people and enjoin every Filipino to assert the right to demand malasakit from their leaders until everyone lives with dignity, well-fed, educated, healthy, secure, disciplined, and empowered to contribute to the national development. I will not be forever be president. But ang kulang sa Pilipino is assertiveness. Pag mayroon kayong transaction at hingian kayo, ang sabi ko sa inyo, ito ang payo ko. Murahin mo, sabihin mo, nagtatrabaho kayo at kami dito. We are following papers and you are sitting on your ass on it. Kaya dito sabi ko, makinig kayo lahat ng Pilipino, total last sunog nito. Pag may mag-follow up kayo, permit, clearance, at maghingi ng pera, murahin ninyo. Sabihin ninyo, yan, sabi ni Duterte, sampaling ko kayo kasi ako nagbabayad ng buwis. Bakit ginaganito ninyo? Anto di mga Pilipino, hindi naman lahat. Tayong magtatrabaho sa gobyerno. You know, I mean, it takes you 1 month to process a paper. Takes you patos pabalik-balik yung tao. Pag ang tao bumabalik, 2, 1, 3, then there is corruption there. Murahin mo at kung maari, pahiramin kita ng pangkulam para kulamin. Ganun talaga. I'm just warning everybody. There's still 1 year to go. In about 3 days, lagyan mo ng papel, bumalik ka dito at this hour on Thursday. At pag pakita mo yung papel, hanapin yung papel ibigay. Yan ang gamitin ninyo. For all the local governments also. In my cabinet, it's 30 days. Walang extension. All. Sabi ko, reduce the signing authority from 6, 7 to only 1 or 2. Hindi naman kailangan hindi kailangan magpirma lahat ng empleyado dyan. 1 or 2, yung iba mag-process lang. But if you cannot process it also in so many days, in Davao, if there is a clearance which is long overdue, hindi mo na pwedeng ibigay doon sa tao. Ibigay mo sa akin at tanungin kita mo, bakit inabot ka ng ganitong? There's no other conclusion. Corruption. Kagaya, what is true in Davao is true for the entire Philippines. Mabutit na rin yan, nakapagsalita ako ng freely with you. Total, last ko naman itong Sona. Mabuti ang malaman ng tao na ganon ang ginagawa nila. It's not there. Hindi man nila nilagay ang mga ganon na wala mang mura dyan. Be careful. We need to fight and subdue narrow vested interests and ensure that our gains will benefit to the greater number of Filipinos, especially those who have the least in life. We have laid down the groundwork and are continuing to push for landmark reforms and key accomplishments to the last day of my term. I have full confidence that the Filipino spirit, pati ako nagmamadali na. Naihi na kanina pa eh. It's a natural human biology, so what's the big deal? Bakit kayo magpakpak kung napaihi na ako? Sa bagay, alam ko rin, nahiya kayo magtindig. Puno ang pila nito pagdating sa CR maya. I have full confidence that the Filipino spirit will persevere and triumph together. And together, let us rise as a nation. Thank you.
Okay. Akit pa ba? Akit pa? Congratulations.
On the part of the Senate, the joint session is hereby adjourned.
The part of the House of Representatives, this joint session is hereby adjourned. Patient Mayor.